posted in the paper that we're asking for remodeling bids?
You may have.
Is it legal to post it on what's going on in Stockdale? Can we do that? That we're taking bids?
It has to be in a qualified published newspaper.
The newspaper of record.
Wilson County.
This is going to have to be.
Okay, I'll do that. What do we want it to read? SEDC, Stockdale Economic Development Committee is requesting bids to remodel.
Before you say that, can I ask a question? So, like, Livonia EDC, Seguin EDC, they have their own Facebook page. And I see them posting stuff on there all the time. Is it because it's a bid or is it just period? What?
It's because period. If you have a web page, you have to keep it up to date. So that's one of the, like your agendas and
So
everything
we
else.
post it on our
But
page.
that does not qualify.
Qualifies as a publication.
That's right.
But if you, and also I think we should steer clear of, you watch your language. So I think if we say estimate, we're requesting estimates. You don't have to go through all the formalities that you have to do when you go and do an RFB for bid or P proposal. There's just a lot more technicalities involved in that situation.
And I'm sorry, and we need to sit down and sort of put together some specifics, whether it's for air conditioning, wall, or whatever, so that you can give somebody a piece of paper and go, this is what we would like for you to look at and give us a price.
So everyone's quoting the same specifications.
Exactly.
And we're going to have to change,
We're
we're going to have to change where the location of the sink is. There's no way we can leave it there.
Oh yeah, we're gonna let it, man, one or the other.
Right there.
You gotta remember that RFP, RFB are two different things. RFP for proposal. We have the right to accept or deny anything. You go out for RFB, then you're taking, you have to award it to
And
someone.
what if we call it an estimate? What if we say we're requesting an
That's
estimate?
proposal, RFP. Proposal.
Okay, thanks.
Request for.
I know there's a difference, I'm not real
And
sure.
then
what
you
they
have
are.
RFQ. Before that RFQ, you know, for the
That's what we usually
qualifications.
do is RFQs.
Now, RFQ is you can go through there and you have a rating sheet and you have to rate it. And then once you rate and accept through, let's say you have 10 qualified people that are qualified to do the job. You give them, a select board rates them, and then you start with number one and you go down, and at that period of time with that, you get to negotiate.
I want that job.
You get to negotiate.
Okay, before we do this, we need to sit down and identify what specifically we're asking somebody to do. Because if we put this in the paper and it appears next week, and we get a call, we don't have anything to show.
We got a pencil. We're moving the wall 6 feet. This is having it out.
If this is what we're going to do, we do this after the meeting, let everybody go.
You have a little plan of what we were doing? Did you have a little drawing of?
We had a complete draw, but it wasn't changed. It's like this is the second one.
I guess another, is we gotta decide what we wanna do with the AC, how much tonnage do you want?
Well, the thing
Well,
is, they wanted to split and he explained the price and everything.
That is not, he was doing a regular AC unit for a home, which is, this doesn't need that. And so I suggested a P-TAC, which is what I use, or a mini split, which is considerably cheaper than putting a
Well, you gotta put a duct
ductwork
and everything
and
else.
all that. We don't need to do all that.
I thought, okay.
So just within the air conditioning arena, there's at least 3 different options that we need to sort of hammer out. So I'm not totally sure if we're ready to go to the newspaper and go,
I don't think so.
yeah, big. Okay. Now, it may take a work session after one of these or one evening to sit down and pencil out something that we could sit down with you and you and you, and everybody would be bidding on the same.
Exactly, that's,
But, so, to me, that's the homework we gotta do right now.
If you're talking about flooring, if we
Well,
don't,
I mean, just the project in general, you know, we don't wanna tire everybody up tonight, but
well, the big problem
we
is,
need to do that.
if you make a decision, like we did the first time, we told him what we wanted, we just wanted to remove this. I have an estimate on that. Then y'all change your mind again. So I don't know which way to go, because this is the second time, I can't keep going out and asking people for bids. When every time I come back, you say, no, I'm gonna move 6 foot. I'm on Johnny's office this side, we're gonna roll through the office today. That was totally different. You said, take this out, redo the floor. and do the-
Well, that's not a big deal. If that's offend you, I only give them like 49 on a custom job. It's, they change it at least 49 times. If that offends them, send them down the road, tell them thank you for your time. It's not,
Yeah, what are the custom?
Yeah, there's gonna be $100 more to give a bid.
Those are the things that we're gonna do is solve.
Yeah, if that offends them, we'll leave talk.
I was thinking, you know, half of that would be at the top end of what we're looking at.
Right.
Me too.
Me too. Yeah, me too.
No, that is me, because this is a real inexpensive process to take this wall down and frame up the wall. You're talking very inexpensive. So, yeah, that was kind of a shocker to me to see that in there, but we spend the time to get on the plan, and then everybody's looking at the same thing, and we're good with that. And we're definitely not concerned about hurting anybody's feelings if they don't want to bid it again at all.
We want to do this.
Do we want to do it at our next meeting?
Is it, you know, a separate work session, or you want to do it in conjunction with the next meeting?
I would say with our next meeting, we know what we want. I mean, we're all pretty much on the same page now,
Yeah.
and we can draw that across.
Yeah.
So, generalized thinking, does a mini split work in both sides of the
It'll
wall?
blow it, with that being open like that, it's gonna handle this. Only place you'd have a little bit of concern is your bathroom or that office. And you can, I mean, with a mini split, $2,500, $3,000 versus, you know, 6 or 8, depending on what they want to do with sucking and all that. So,
Because I was even thinking, you know, you could take, but now I'm thinking about John, that office is gonna be really small, isn't it?
right,
So it really wouldn't make sense to put an air conditioning unit in it.
yeah,
You
yeah.
could go with 2 mini splits for the price of a
Okay.
traditional system.
Yeah.
Or like I said, that P-TAC.
I don't know what that is.
Underneath the
Like when you
hotel
go to a
window.
hotel,
They're underneath.
when you go to a hotel, you put it
Oh,
Unit.
so there are units on the
On
wall?
the wall. And they're nice, I mean, under the window.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they really keep my cabins perfect.
Is that what you guys use?
Yeah.
All right,
And I
here's
can get them for about 900 apiece.
All right, here's a current number. For a 2-ton mini split with what they call fill heads, Shannon is having them done today for $3,000 each unit. She had the guy tell her a 3-ton central unit was 48. So that's those two technologies. Now yours under the window, but those are numbers.
3-ton,
Is that ducking?
Central air.
it ain't 48, it shouldn't be 48. Is that just the equipment, or?
No, he said
Turnkey?
he could install a 3-ton central air unit. I didn't ask what brand or whatever. It's 48.
Duck in everything.
Well, probably already has that.
The cheapest guy I know in the country, which I've been doing this for a little while, is Tommy, and for a ton, if you're just gonna roughly figure a central unit this deal, you can figure 500 square foot is gonna get, you need a ton. So per ton, you can figure $2,000 per ton. And that's, I mean, and Tommy's is cheap. I've used Tommy, Tri-City,
I just redid mine and I paid $6,500. And my house is 2,000 square feet and they did all the ducking. Everything.
New or?
Brand new.
I mean,
Brand new
was there
ducking.
ducking there?
You got a good deal.
I did.
Who's that?
I mean, was it a?
Secret.
Well,
It was a
and that-
guy out of Austin, which my contractor knew. And so I I've been so happy. I mean, yeah, we're
Yeah,
gonna use it.
I mean, if it's a true arm's length transaction where you didn't know the guy and all that, but if it's a special favor, well, then yeah, it's hard to tell, but that's a pretty standard number, a couple of thousand. King and Sons, they use 2,500 a ton, and that's,
Wow.
I mean, that's just, and that's new, that's in a new house where you don't have to climb up in the attic, do all that other stuff, that's a new application, so.
Well, this doesn't happen, man.
Yes.
Yeah, that's trust. And those are engineered trusses, ain't they? So there'll be some room to run a ductwork thing.
There's a room above this?
No,
Oh, okay.
it's enough room.
It's
to
a
put
crawl
the
space.
services into the attic.
Yeah, they fit that.
Okay, so there's three technologies there that we may want to do.
I feel we could do a split in here and put the P-TAC in the little office.
Yeah. I guess.
Right, but I mean, that's one of the things we've got to figure out, so everyone's bid the same. Or you let them decide how they pool this area.
Well, it's typically what you do is you'll let the AC guy, you'll take it to ends and they'll design it for him usually. Because that's what they do, but, I mean, he'll design it, tell you how many it's supposed to work, or he'll design it with the central air, or, I mean, there's no designer that if you use that P-TAC, you stick it in the hole and you turn it
But the
on.
whole, it's done.
And it'll tell you.
I get about 900.
Does it need to vent to the outside?
Yes. Yeah, and that's going wall. Yeah, they work great.
Those would be great, the only problem with those here is you're gonna have to cut through the cinder block wall. Which is,
A whole outside wall.
Which that was already cut, and you make that one work?
that was long enough one.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be, you'd have to cut in a little bit, not much.
But that wasn't cut, that was a window there, it's just like that when it was taken out. Because when you build it, cinder block, you make provision for the header as you're building it.
Yeah.
And if you cut a hole in one of them, then you gotta also do that, just block the top of the wall.
Well, there's a significant difference between the two costs. So
Yeah.
cutting that wall
Might be.
might be a minor cost.
Yeah.
Does that work? Are those?
And also, this
Sun rated?
removing the garage door is,
You just put it there.
Build
one
the
there,
wall,
it's
yeah.
already open.
yeah.
How many square feet is this? Was it 500?
Gosh, by the time you tear down this wall, it's gonna be a little bigger.
Yeah.
I use 18,000 BTUs in mine. It's well, cool and well.
How many
warm.
square feet is it?
And we built them. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Come on, dude.
I'll do it.
It's
They're what, they're 20?
300. Still in there.
I mean, you didn't buy all those off the side of the road?
No,
Someone
we did
built
a few,
those?
we did a few of them.
Yeah, I didn't do them all, I did
No.
some of them. Well, I don't know, we can check on that, they're gonna tell you that so many square feet.
It's really easy. I can figure it out.
And then we can
The
figure out.
only advantage of a central unit is you only have to buy one unit, and you can do the office and the.
Vent them all.
You put them all over the place.
You're just.
Yeah, and if your price is like Gary's where it's, 3 versus 45 or 48, that's not bad.
That's not a
I
bad
mean,
thing.
if we find that deal there, so,
Yeah,
and it'll
Another
notice.
splits in today.
awesome.
And I asked for a clarification on the dual head.
Right,
She said it basically just converting to two
Right.
sugar.
yeah.
Those
There.
are, I think those are 2 tons each.
They're popular, they're using them a lot now where they can, where the application works. They won't work in a lot of places.
All right, so y'all, you would see a work session at the next meeting?
Next meeting.
To finalize, start crunching this thing
And
down?
then we'll have it prepared to hand it out, run it in the paper, whoever wants to bid it. Do what?
Gotta take care of your-
All right, we'll be good with that till next meeting. Our next item is number 4, discussion action on challenge construction on Philmar.
I do have an update on that.
Did you find anybody?
I did, I told you I'm a bounty hunter. And I literally didn't find anybody, and then I told the
Someone in
worker,
charge?
he's washing trucks. And so I said, I'm not leaving, so I was sitting in the office, I said, until I talk to Clinton. And he was like, well, who are you? And I said, I introduced myself, and he said, no, we gave you a check, I think today, to City Hall. And I said, I'm well aware of the check you gave today. But I'm also well aware that on May 5th, you're gonna be 4 months again. So I need to speak to Clint, and I'm not leaving. I need his cell phone, because I tried to call his cell phone and it was disconnected.
That number I
Yes.
gave you is no longer working?
Right, that's what it said, okay? So he says, well, call Misty. I said, once again, I'm doing my homework. I've called Misty. She's not returning my calls. So I'm gonna sit here until you get Clint on the phone. So he walks away about 5 feet, calls Clint. Yeah.
Crazy guy.
Yes.
And his new number.
Well, get this. He said he was in the AT&T store and there's something wrong with his phone, which I don't know, whatever.
Okay, check it out.
That it's probably working there. And so we had a long conversation. It was a good one. And I told him, I'll just let the board know this. He's planning on making a $14,000 payment next week. I'm supposed to call him on Wednesday. The bigger checks are starting to roll in. And then by the end of the month, he feels no reason that they will not be current, and then will continue on to be current.
40,000, you said next week?
Next week, he gets a check on Wednesday, and he told me call on Wednesday to make sure that check came in. So I would say Thursday or Friday, supposedly, he's gonna make 2 payments. And then after that, they're expecting a $100,000 check, which will get us current. We're the first online. He said, I get it. We were way out of line with y'all. And so we had a long conversation. I said, I'm just gonna tell you, I'm gonna be real aggressive. And the board is not okay with this. And as a matter of fact, we have a call meeting, and you're top on the list to start taking some action with you. And so we're done. And he completely understood, and he apologized. He said, please apologize. I said, okay, well, you'll be hearing from me.
Apologize with the check.
Yeah,
that would be
yeah.
apology.
And Tanya told me she received the check, but give it 4 or 5 days to make sure it clears. So
Yeah.
that's where we're at right now.
Well,
You're
That's
better
a
than I was. I
January.
said, if they're never even come talk to me.
Well, I think I might be a little free.
Well, you're
Yeah.
No, I think you might want to talk to this one.
She keeps her hand in her purse.
Yeah. I was like, I'm not leaving.
There you go.
I'm gonna get coming here.
Next time I'll send you an apology.
Polly, you're going with me, Dad.
congratulations, Senator Stark.
Awesome.
I could starve to death.
Still need to, have you heard anything on the city's end from Kathy about if we, or is that something they do?
She said that was something that Security State did and Nixon Bank did,
But not Heritage?
and she was talking about the minister.
On the building question.
Does what?
Yeah. To get all those payments going through a bank, like it needs to be.
You don't make them go finance it.
No, they'll just take the
There'll be a
payments.
collection for the CDC,
Right.
where your note's set up where the bank collects for you. They'll charge a little, but they'll.
Why would we do that?
Because
Well,
it's a
because-
lot easier to bank to.
No, there's some,
What it is for us.
It's just a pure case of they're not going to collection.
yes.
Yeah, we need to kind of restructure
So
out,
what we do is sell the note to the bank.
No,
No.
we'll just,
You pay them,
they will house our note.
pay them so much a month to do the collection for you.
when that like a big expense that's added in, so it costs you money.
And
Negative percent of what's it collected?
I couldn't tell you.
it's not expensive, typically, it's not a real
I
expensive.
hope.
I
It's
have,
better than.
yeah, it's a whole lot better. But will that satisfy the city with the informal note going to be?
We'll have to, I already have a depository agreement with them. I'd have to have another agreement from the bank to the EDC stating that they're acting as a third party and what their duties are, such as that.
And do you think that satisfies the city auditor?
The answer to that question is
Yes.
They're not like our.
Who is this?
Well, that's,
Really?
our auditor.
I mean, what bank? Oh,
I'm talking the heritage bank at this point.
Yeah. Well, the main thing, the whole purpose of that, we want the auditor satisfied with what
Now,
it's.
you know, there again, as in a conversation, you do what you want to, but you get red flags that come around, and that's one of the red flags that I get for the last 8 years, because I didn't have a depository agreement. Well, I have one, but I don't have another, I can't get one. And so it's one of those deals where we decided not to do all the money.
From now on, banks, you think that if we vote on a certain X number of dollars, over $5,000, we should bring it before the city council, let them approve it also.
It states in there anytime that there again, it hadn't been operated in that, but in the bylaws and stuff, whenever y'all discuss that, it states that anytime that y'all spend more than $5,000, it's supposed to be brought before the council for approval.
All right, so going back to this new banking agreement, who's working that issue?
I've made a telephone call from my group.
To see if Heritage would allow us to become part of that process?
Well, it's your process. I don't loan money. There again, as we discussed multiple times, that the EDC is the real estate and terminology of the branch of the city. And so through basically your audit status goes through the city's audit. It's such that you don't have a separate audit. They audit your books just like they do mine under the same blanket that goes around. So underneath the depository agreement that the city has with this establishment, I made contact with the managing officer to ask the question, do you provide these services?
And I'll work with banks to see where
Now,
this EDC
If they do not provide those services, well, then we'll have to find,
which I know Wells Fargo does. I know they do.
I'll have to find another
But, yeah.
institution.
All right, I'm just looking for some verbiage in the minutes that says this is in process. We're gonna talk.
We're gonna try to contract with Heritage or a bank
Banking facility.
to be our collecting on the notes that we have. All of them.
Third party.
Collecting our agent.
Or, yeah, and it's, we're gonna see what that would cost, how much a month is gonna give us the best deal. Well, we want someone to be our collecting agent on this one. And basically to satisfy the city auditor, make sure that the city is taken care of. We can do it like we're doing it, but obviously it ain't working. And so, I mean, the other ones work. We don't have problems, we just have problems at one, and it ain't fair to say it ain't working on us, and on top of that, I think that when they collect, if it's in the contract, the late fee and all these things, they keep that, it's all there.
They keep records, they add it to it. It's
There's no question as
automatically.
to how many late fees have been applied, or if any have been applied and all that.
And I gotta tell you, I just think it gives more credibility to that transaction when they make it to a bank.
No doubt. A lot of people do it that way only because you have a lot more problem. Most people do human nature stiff at the bank than you do Joe Blow out there. It's just simpler not to pay.
And let's face it, the bank has the resources to go after those types of problems, more so than an EDC.
Now, they don't,
They won't chase that for you. Yeah.
No.
They'll collect for you, but they won't threaten and they're not a collections agency. They're just collecting your note.
I will continue to be the bounty hunter.
Yeah, let Jennifer do all that.
She's still our henchwoman.
Yes.
I'd say hench.
Have you ever met Cliff? Yeah, face to face.
Yes, yes, yes,
All right, so we're good with that.
yes.
Our next item is going to be discussion action on the website.
Good job, Jennifer.
Yeah, that was good.
I have, I guess, a lot on my mind, but I feel like we might unfortunately need to wait till the next meeting. But I've been working with Rick Rutland. So he has a couple ideas of, okay, him take over our website and manage it, and he threw a $50 a month fee out, and I can't remember what we were paying, 25 or 50, I think we're paying 50. So I called Wes and got some clarification from him about just everything, and he is willing to let us out of his contract. Was very helpful with that, and all he'll charge is $75 to release the domain
Right.
to us, if that's what we choose to
That's
do.
reasonable.
Yeah, very, very nice. And then Rick and I came up with an idea, and so I made another phone call to just see if they would, even if it was to entertain it, to combine us, we would be a piece of where the chamber is, and combine ours with them, where you click on EDC, so you have them one, and they have they have Stockdale.org, which is the one that pops up the first.
Yeah.
So I called, what's his name? Josh, and they are meeting tonight. He seemed excited about it. He said, let me get with the board, that would be awesome. So he said, I'm so glad we're all working together. He felt really good and positive about it. So I felt like I was gonna have more ideas, but now it could go 2 different routes. So I don't think we should waste a lot of time now at this meeting until, if they're for that, if we wanna do that, or who's gonna, there's just a lot of.
If Rick Rutland,
We can put them on our agenda for the next meeting.
Yes.
Have the chamber and Rutland here.
does Rick Rutland, he knows how to do the back end stuff?
He
knows how to do
does, he
content
says,
management?
that's what I really wanna, how fancy do y'all want it, he says he does, and he's been handling the chamber, and he does that for free. And I said, I joked around more, but why are we free? The chamber doesn't, he's trying to help him out. He doesn't need the money, he doesn't, and he's now trying to help us out. So I said, we were paying 50, if you're gonna update it, do everything, I said, I'm not the only person there, but I appreciate you when you offer it.
Yeah, there'd be a lot more better sense of it. If you pop on one, the other one pop on.
Yes, so
Well,
I think it's a great idea.
I think Rick would have insights as a
Yes.
Stockdalean, as
Yes.
a guy who's been a professional.
Yes.
I think if he was willing and able to, I think that's a bargain.
I do too. So I like that idea. I just need to wait now for them to meet.
About next meeting, the first time.
Right. So I am very much working on it.
Discussion
And
action.
Tanya was nice enough. I did get all the new businesses in town and old. It's current. I gave it to Rick. I have it, so everything is moving like it should be.
Well, that's good.
So we'll get that all corrected.
Gold star.
I know, I'm a little
You would have
busy.
been working on that, John.
Keep her on the street.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
All
So,
right, that's good to know. Our next item, which, this is not exactly how we had this first, but 6 is going to be discussion action on the contract position that Johnny held for us, Johnny Stahl. And we really don't need any, I guess we can, make a motion to approve. This is his letter of resignation, it's 12 o'clock today. So,
All we do is accept it.
all we need to do is accept his letter.
Accept it.
Just need to vote on it.
Yeah,
We did.
nobody,
Nobody.
let's make one.
So move.
second.
Okay. We have a motion and a second to accept the letter of resignation. John Orr.
Everybody aye? Everybody, are we all in agreement?
Aye. So it's a majority. Okay, then the only other thing we've got here is adjournment. Do we, have our meeting in our regular time next? Do we
Yeah,
wait?
we contact, like, put this, the chamber in that, so we can get that on the agenda for the next meeting.
Tom,
I don't even think, I think we probably just could use Rick here. Rick does everything. So as long as we
We
get approval.
need to put words, discussion and action.
Okay, okay.
Is that a-
Discussion of EDC
the
website.
webpage is on there already, so we just need to add chamber. But webpage is the chamber, so let's.
Right.
Yeah.
We're already
yeah,
covered.
we're fine with
Yeah,
that.
next meeting.
And then I'll make sure Rick is here. Because he does it all anyway, so he'll know everything.
And so next meeting, besides our normal managed system that we're gonna.
He'd be more
challenge
interested
the
in keeping
remodel of the building.
updated.
But
He
you know,
would. Someone from a version.
He would. Yeah, and he also, you know,
I mean,
he's got
definitely be more
he's
interested.
got his finger on the pulse, so we got a bill bank coming in or
Yeah, so
something.
it'd be
He'll get
fair on the
something right there.
website.
Where they
And
go
then
down there and have
we
the
may
police department.
Think about this too, about the discussion of
That little nickel bag, dollar fifty, they make.
placement.
There we go.
Yeah, we can just,
Well, can we discuss that now or no? Because it's
No.
not-
For a crawfish one this weekend?
It's got the.
Okay, okay. Yes, can we put that on there?
Yeah.
You did that?
Yeah.
Okay,
but I'll call y'all.
okay.
before we Make sure everybody's got what they want on the agenda for next meeting, which next meeting's gonna be?
Third Tuesday? Second?
Wait a minute.
Normally, either
Second.
the 14th or the 21st.
We meet on the 6th, will be on the 14th.
13th.
Or 14th. May the 14th.
Pretty right.
I mean, I've been on this board for, what, 6 years? This is the fastest meeting ever.
I may be a little bit late, but I hate to.
So,
So we got a motion to adjourn?
So
yes.
May 14th, you say?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Second?
Second.
Motion second to adjourn, all in favor, aye?